Timmy's Fairly Odd Parents were fairly older than him, this would have cut the show way short. Imagine this guy following Timmy Turner around. Imagine this guy hiding himself as a pink eraser or a green pencil in Timmy Turner's classroom. Wouldn't you feel violated as a viewer? As time goes on, it gets harder and harder to be original. So video game designers, especially with their character design, they have to get pretty nutty. So a lot of artists just end up getting together, going ham, hammering out as many ideas as they can, and see what happens, see what sticks. A lot of these designs just never see the light of day with privacy protection and all that other stuff. But I ventured into the unknown, into the dark web backrooms of the internet to find some of the most crazy concept designs you have ever seen for characters that we see on a day-to-day basis. Now, what we do today doesn't change a thing. We're just looking at concept designs. But back then, if they chose these designs, it would have changed the course of gaming entirely. Now, we know about the popular ones like Sonic the Jackrabbit or Shrek the Blue Waffles Ogre. But to really get into the crazy shit, we gotta dive into the deep web backrooms. And let me just be the first to tell you, some of these designs got pretty far into the design process, as in they almost happened. You can't tell me that artists were just sketching, then coloring, then layering, then drawing the shadows and then making it more 3D just because for fun. These designs were almost the final design. Welcome to the Bread Show, and children, shield your eyes for the abominations that we're about to partake. First, we take a nice trip to the early 2000s where we see Mario in his Yeezy Gap fit on. I mean, come on, man. This man got Capri's jorts on, bro. Capri's jorts, bro. I know we said we was gonna see some wacky stuff, but this was just ill. I had to show this. They had my man's thugged out. But let's stop playing around and get on to the next one. Now this is an abomination. Apparently, somewhere along the lines, Link was gonna go to space and fight things that look like Metroid. Now, Link is a character that has seen his fair share of wackiness. He's been to the past, he's been to the future, he's seen all of his friends get old, he's seen all of his friends die, but never has he ever dressed up as an astronaut and fought Metroids with a shield that's attached to the back of his hand. Now, in God of War 2018, the Valkyries were kind of like carbon copies of each other. They were hard boss fights, but they essentially were pretty similar. Now, looking into this concept art, we see that the Valkyries were supposed to be more individualized, with this one especially having what looks like tentacles and a beam of light. It would have made for an interesting dynamic, but I can see why the team would cut something like this, because it was probably too much to animate, because you have to animate the battle sequences, you have to animate the cutscenes and everything like that. And then imagine Freya looking like this when we first met her. I think it's pretty self-explanatory on why these were cut. Now back to the kids games teeing up their characters for no reason. This is what Sora looks like in present day. This is what his character design is now. This is what the character design for Sora could have been. Now, I don't know what y'all think that is, but to me, that is very obviously a chainsaw. They tried to pack my man Sora up with a chainsaw. Sephiroth would have had a problem on his hands if they gave me a chainsaw in Kingdom Hearts. And then it looks like they also gave him claws on his right hand or his left hand, whatever that is. My man's was decked out, and I think for the first time in all of these pictures, we're seeing what we could have had and missed out on. This is another God of War one. But this time, Kratos isn't either Greek or Norse. These concept arts is from, like, I guess when they were coming up with the idea of God of War himself. This is what he would have looked like as a samurai or I don't even know what type of like background that is. That looks like Mayan mythology or something. And look at young Atreus on that man back, before Atreus was even Atreus. Oh, and that cheetah print one maybe could be an Indian or Egyptian God of War design. We could be looking into the future though, because God of War could be coming back with another list of mythological beings.
It was like Kratos walking through the desert, because we were, in my mind, still doing Egypt initially. Wind, sand blowing all over the place as he's kind of crawling through.
Now we have to go to the beloved franchise, the beloved Pokemon franchise. This was some early concept art, and to be honest with you, Pokemon has come a long way from this. HP, TP, I don't even know what TP is. They made a Pokemon with a hunchback and a baseball cap on, and then that one kind of looks like the pre-evolution of Rhydon. And also 400 and 500 HP is astronomically high for Pokemon today. So I really think that this Pokemon franchise came a long way. And look at the Pokeballs and what they were supposed to be. To be honest with you, this is a cool design. This looks like something that they could use in games today. The button exploded the whole Pokeball and captured the Pokemon that way. That would have been cool. But I do find it hard to imagine how they would animate that in the games in the early 96 television shows. So that might be a reason why this was cut. Now I know these aren't video games, but this was, I had to include this. This was supposed to be Steven Universe, if you hadn't guessed. Now if you watch the show, Steven is a little kid, and look at this guy has stubble on his chin. I thought this concept was extremely weird. What if you took Steven as we know him today and made him like 15, maybe even 17? You would think that he was some guy having a shrooms trip. Okay, to the right is Wanda now. Then Wanda was supposed to be a older woman, I guess. This one isn't as weird. It's kind of weird how Timmy's Fairly Odd Parents were fairly older than him, but maybe we can get over that. And now this is Cosmo's concept art. This would have been weird. This would have cut the show way short. Cosmo was supposed to be the weird uncle that makes his way to every family gathering but was never invited. Yes, he's fat, bald, and lazy as they described him, but the real problem is, imagine this guy following Timmy Turner around. Like really. Imagine this guy hiding himself as a pink eraser or a green pencil in Timmy Turner's classroom. Wouldn't you feel uncomfortable watching that back? Wouldn't you feel violated as a viewer? He's drinking out of a cup with a fairy wand in it. At least Wanda looked normal. This guy is just disgusting. So yeah, that's just some of the really weird concept art that I was seeing on the internet and marveling at, because if some of those concept arts were real, and even worse, used in today's world, those franchises would have been totally different, especially the Steven Universe and Fairly Odd Parents one. That would have definitely changed the whole course of the show, and a lot of parents would have been very mad letting their kids watch that. But yeah, that's everything. Welcome to the Bread Show. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, please subscribe to the channel, and love y'all, man. Peace.